everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're doing my August wrap up. So not gonna chit chat, let's just get right into the stats. So in August I read 6 books, I read 2,118 pages. My average rating was a 4.2. And then the genre breakdown, I read 2 romance, 2 dark romance, 1 thriller, and 1 fantasy. So the first 2 books I want to talk about, I read Hooked and Scarred by Emily McIntyre. These are the first 2 books in the Never After series, which is a dark romance Disney retelling. The first book is Hooked. I gave this a 4 stars. This is the Peter Pan retelling. Obviously this is dark romance, so instead of Peter Pan getting the girl, Hooked gets the girl. And actually it was really weird because Peter Pan was actually Wendy's dad in this, so it was like really weird to be like, oh, they're not dating anymore, this is like her dad. But it still gives Peter Pan vibes, as in like Hook is still trying to get revenge on Peter Pan basically, and he's basically trying to date his daughter to get revenge on Peter Pan. Sorry, his name's not actually Peter Pan. His name in this is just Peter. I don't actually know their last name, I forgot. But yeah, I really liked it. Like, I was so excited to start the next one right after this. I think the only reason I gave it a 4 was because I thought it was gonna be darker for some reason. Like, I don't know, if people think this is really dark, like, oh, I'm crazy, but I don't know. I just thought it was gonna be worse than it was. I'm sorry if the lighting's changing. The sun's like kind of going down, so it might be changing a little bit. And Scarred, this is the second book. This is a Lion King retelling, so Scar gets the girl. But the girl in this wasn't like Nala from like Lion King, you know? So this one didn't really resemble the Lion King at all, besides like the names, I feel like. And the whole like king queen thing, like that was incorporated into this, but nothing else really gave like, oh, this is Lion King, you know? I feel like it's also kind of harder to retell Lion King because they're literally animals in that, and in this they're humans. So, but I gave this one a 4.5. I loved this one so freaking much. I feel like it was just like go, go, go. Like there was never a point in the story that I got bored, like at all. And I really was debating giving this 5 star. Like I was going so back and forth, 4.5 or 5. Like I didn't know what to give it. But if I was debating it that much, like it obviously wasn't a 5 star, you know what I mean? So I just ended up giving it 4.5. But I really loved it. Like these first 2 books, 8. Like I can't wait to continue the rest of the series. Next book I read is Powerless by Elsie Silver. This is the 3rd book in the Chestnut Spring series, and I gave this 4.5 stars. I loved it so much. I haven't rated them a 5 star just because like I feel like to give a romance 5 star it has to have like a really deep meaning or something to it, or I don't know. It just has to have something more than just like a cute little romance, I feel like. I've given every single one of the books in this series a 4.5 stars, and honestly, like I cannot rank another one over the other one because they're just all so equal in my head and I love them all so much. But this story follows Jasper and Sloane. They're childhood friends, so they grew up together. They both have always like had a little thing for each other, but they just never tell each other because they don't think that the other person feels the same way about them. But I love this series so much. Like I am so sad that I'm getting far into the series because I really don't want it to end, but I also like I need to know the other books. I just need to finish it so I can get to Elsie Silver's other series. Like I really don't want to leave this world because these are so good. Next I read One by One by Frida McFadden. I gave this 3.5 stars. This is definitely my least favorite Frida McFadden book that I've read so far. It's basically about a group of friends, a group of 6 friends. They go on like this camping trip or something like that, and they start going missing one by one, hence the title. And I don't know, I think maybe because it was so short, like this is like not even 300 pages. This is Frida McFadden's shortest book. So I feel like it was just kind of rushed. Like this much of the book was build up, and then like this much of the book was the plot twist and the ending. And we just like came to the conclusion so fast, and I was like, whoa, like we're not gonna talk about it more, or like there's not gonna be like more action that happens, like it just ends like that. Okay, but I still did really enjoy it. Like it was fun for the time being. When I needed a quick thriller, like it was good. It just isn't her best. I've definitely enjoyed her other books more than this one. Next, I read Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. I gave this a 4 stars. This is the first book in the Throne of Glass series. Depending on which order you read it. So I read Assassin's Blade first, so technically this is the second book in that series for me. I did like this book. I enjoyed it. I think it was a very good setup for the rest of the series to come, but I was very bored majority of the time. I am very glad that I read Assassin's Blade first because there was a lot of references to that book in this book, and I would have just been like confused and like, what are we talking about if I didn't read that one first? But I'm very excited to continue the series because I've heard it only gets better from here on out. So I'm pretty sure everyone and their mom knows what this series is if you've been on BookTube or Book Talk for even like a second. In this book specifically, we're just following Selena, and she's an assassin, and she goes through these trials because she's trying to be the king's assassin. I can't wait to read the next one because I heard the ending of Crown of Midnight is like crazy, so I'm excited to see like where it goes from here. The last book I read in August was Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I gave this book a 4.5 stars. Like, I loved it so much. It just didn't give me the 5-star feeling, so that's why it's not a 5-star, but it was amazing. If y'all have ever seen the movie The Duff, like the beginning, like probably the first 50% of this book, I was like, this is literally The Duff copy and paste, but in like a young adult version, and not in a bad way. Like, not in a bad way at all. I loved it. And the main guy in the book's name is Wes, and the guy's name in the Duff movie, his name is Wes, so I was like, what is going on? Basically, this book, these two people grew up living next to each other, and they had this like friend group, I guess, when they were younger, and one of the guys comes back into town and starts going to school with them again, and the girl basically tells the guy that she lives next door to, they like don't like each other anymore when they're in high school because he's popular, she's not, but she goes to him and she's like, hey, please help me like get this guy to notice me and to like me, like I really want to be with him, I think he's my soulmate, yada yada. So they basically make a deal, and he's like helping her out, try to get this guy, but that's all I'm gonna say about it. But I loved it literally so much. The second book comes out in October, and I'm literally so excited for it. That's why I read this now, because I was like, oh, I need to read this now so I can be on the trend and the hype whenever the next book comes out. I'm also kind of scared for the next book though, because isn't it like they break up or something, and it's like talking about why they broke up, and then I don't know if they get back together or not, but I really need them to, because why is there a second book to this? It ended on a happy note. Why are we getting a second one? I'm scared. Okay, these are all the books that I read in August. I love them all so much. I had a pretty good reading month. There was no 5 stars this month, which I feel like I usually have one every month. The fact that I didn't have any 5 stars was very weird for me, but I really enjoyed all, like there was so many 4.5s and 4s, you know what I mean? So it was still a great reading month. But yeah, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, my socials are going to be right here and in the description below. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.